Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Life of a Reseller. I am your host, Adam, with Adam's Exploits. On today's show, we're going to be talking about the various ways we can network to grow our reselling business. We're going to say hello to a couple people, and then I'll bring my co-host on, Bill, who's with No Man the Frog. So, guys, we do this, and of course, I don't like showing my microphone, so we're going to move that out of the picture. There we go. That's a little better. So, anyway, we're going to talk about networking, the various ways we can network to help grow our reselling business. I'm going to say hello to a few people in the chat. I want to thank some of my moderators. We have Sharon here. We have Valerie here. We have Miss Maggie. It's great to see you, Maggie. I missed you. You're a great fan of our show, and I love and support all the support you give us. So. And two other people. We have Blandine on. And okay, guys, so we have about 5 or 6 people to start. YouTube's a little wonky, so the notices didn't go out on time. So we shall see. Well, I'm sure we'll have several people in the chat, and we'll get started. So let me bring my co-host on, and we'll get this party started.
Hey, everyone.
Why don't you say hello, sir?
Happy Monday. Hope everyone had a great weekend. So, how's life doing? How you been?
It's doing.
You have a nice weekend?
Yeah, it was a weekend. Well, we're not going to mention our local football team didn't do too well, but other than that, right? All right.
That's not good there. So, but anyway, hope everyone's doing well out there. We got a great show tonight. We got some great suggestions on networking, and yeah. So I guess we can get this thing started.
We get to start. I just want to say hello to somebody in the chat. Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to have Stephanie hopefully next Wednesday on my Reselling Rhythm show. So thanks for joining us, Stephanie. Thrifting Adventures is Stephanie. So this coming Wednesday, I'm having Miss Valerie Hickory Springs is going to be on our show. And then the following Wednesday, hopefully we'll have Stephanie on Thrifting Adventures. So as I like to say, let's get this party started. All right, Bill, you are up first, sir.
All right.
So again, guys, this is networking for resellers. We're going to talk about the various ways you can network to help grow your reselling business.
Yes. So anyway, with that being said, I want to get started with talking to you guys about flea marketing and garage selling. I have been noticing that we have a lot of extra inventory around the house. It just is either slow to get up or just not getting around to getting up. So we haven't discovered it going to the local yard sales and the flea markets in the area that you can make yourself some extra money. So we have been going to a place outside of Harrisburg called Williams Grove, and then we do the local Manheim, which is about a half hour from here. I go twice a week, and we set up for our different yard sales and flea market. The flea market. And it's a great way to sell your product and meet other people that are obviously looking for the buys and getting to resell their products and buy them cheap, sell them high. So it's a great place to connect. I've been going out there, I guess I've been 3-4 months. I've met quite a few people. I have met some resellers, gotten their cards, stashed them away for a rainy day, and also have met some people that are out there looking to sell their stuff and sell on eBay. I've learned a lot. The other day, I was with my daughter-in-law called me, and she had some cast iron pots that were given to her for free, and I didn't know anything about them. And the following week, the guy next to me was actually selling cast iron, and he told me all about the cast iron business, and wound up selling for a nice little penny. So don't be afraid to talk to your customers when they're coming to your table. Another thing we noticed is that when we do go to these flea markets, if I am with Dave, he will walk around and observe the way people set up their tables and how they intermingle with the crowd and the customers. Of course, they always want to get it cheaper than what you have it. So just like with eBay, make sure you do price it high to expect the dollar that you want. So like if you want a $5, price it like $8 so it gives you negotiating room. and don't hesitate to give your cards out to some of these customers. Just last week, I spoke to a woman that was she had her own what do you call it, where you bring stuff in, consignment shop.
Consignment shop. Mm-hmm.
And yes, and I spoke to her, and she changes her inventory over every 3 months, and she had bags and bags of jeans. So I'm trying to get on the phone now and connect with her. I've met out a couple clean out people that do clean outs, which we'll get into later.
Yeah, exactly. It's another category.
Right. We'll get into the show later. But yes, and even at your local yard sales, if you go to your yard selling on a Saturday or whatever day it is, a Friday, Saturday, talk to the people that are doing the yard sale. They're going to, 9 times out of 10, they're going to just donate whatever's left over because they don't want to haul it back into the house. So, set up, give them your business card. Don't be afraid to tell them who you are, what you do, and give them your card and say, hey, look, Saturday afternoon at like 3 o'clock when you're done and you don't want to haul it, give me a call. Maybe we can negotiate a price, and maybe you can get everything on the table. And again, there might only be 4 or 5 items that's on that table, but if you have the time and the energy and the space to go to a flea market, you can sell for pennies on the dollar and make yourself a nice little penny. Yeah, so networking with that, it's a fantastic way. Don't hesitate to tell people what you're doing. No.
Yeah, like I had discussed with other resellers. I'm friendly with a lot of resellers, and back in the day, that's why I used to do a lot of networking. I was in sales. Most of you know my channel. I was in outside sales for almost 30 years, retail and outside sales. And then I was looking for work, so I learned about networking. So I would attend networking events. That's another topic I'm going to get into a little bit, or I think Bill's going to talk about that a little bit. But yeah, I know it's difficult sometimes, guys. Back in the day, before all this stuff happened,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to call it stuff happened.
Mm-hmm.
I used to just strike up conversation with strangers. We have some other topics I'm going to get into, who you talk to, but just strike a conversation up. You never know. Like you said, you struck a conversation with that person at the flea market about cast iron pots. It's like, who knew? If you didn't ask this person, you got all this free information. It didn't cost you 1 red cent. You got it all just from opening your mouth,
exactly,
being nice, and just starting a conversation with someone. You never know. You never know unless you ask. It's the old saying, you can't make the sale unless you ask.
And the other thing we also noticed, like going to the flea markets and everything, like my car is loaded to go tomorrow. But, on top of selling things at home as you're listing, it's $100 that you would not have had in your pocket if you had stayed home and just listed. Obviously, you make more money online, but we look at it as though the way we have our setup is that we go. I did 19 of them all so far, and we have a storage unit. So we are offsetting the price of the storage unit by selling this stuff. And number 14 hit our yearly fee for what it would be. So everything else is cash that's extra to go out and purchase other stuff if we need to.
Absolutely. And again, what you do is you have I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Bill? I think we may have lost Bill. Okay. Well, the next topics are mine anyways.
Again, you might have these people know what's going on.
Okay. Are you okay now?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Do estate sales.
Yes, I'm going to do estate sales.
Your estate sales.
Right. So again, we're talking about estate sales, guys. I'm just going to give you a little, a few tips. And again, this channel is about me, my personal experiences, and what I've learned from other experienced resellers, whether they be resellers I've had on my show to interview, or resellers that I have moderated for over the years. You all know I moderated for Casey the Rockstar Flipper. I learned quite a bit from Casey. At one point, I was moderating for up to about 30 different channels, YouTube channels. It just got to be too much. So I kind of really cut back. But again, I've learned a lot from, watching the various reselling shows, Casey and, Rally Roots and Katie and Vicky, some great knowledgeable resellers. I had some great resellers on my show, on my other show. I learned quite a bit. So one thing I did learn with about estate sales, one of these, Mike Flipping Goodies actually mentioned this. Another great channel to follow, guys. If you haven't subscribed to Mike, and Mike's having some family issues. It's very, very sad, but he'll start making videos. Sure, I'm soon. We'll start making some more videos soon. But anyway, with estate sales, you want to network with the estate sale employees. You want to get them to know them personally. You want them to know you. In other words, so you might say, "Hey, Mike, I'm Adam. I'm a reseller. I specialize in yada yada yada. I like to buy whatever your niche is. If it's clothing, if it's pottery, if it's art, whatever it is." So you tell that estate sale person that's what you like to buy, and it just be nice to them. I mean, back before this things happen, you could maybe bring them a cup of coffee or whatever. So just be nice to them. Sometimes, I mean, I've heard stories where people get early access to an estate sale. They have a relationship with the various people that run these estate sales. They've built friendships with these people, like professional, business relationships. And a lot of times they'll say, "Hey, Mike, why don't you come in like an hour before I let everybody else in, and I'll give you a run of the house. So you can, if you see things, I can't really give you a discount in the beginning, but if you want to look around and you see some things, put them together in the box, and you get first shot." And believe me, it happens, guys. It really does happen. Another thing you can do is, if they know what niches you collect and like to resell, they might tell you, say, "Hey, Adam, I know you attend most of our estate sales. I have some great cast, Bill was saying cast iron pans. So I have some great cast iron pans. I know you like to resell them. Make sure you come to this particular estate sale because I think you'd really be interested in some of the things we're selling." So it doesn't hurt to talk to these people. Another thing what you can do is, I mean, typically, estate sales have these procedures where you mark things down. The first day it might not be anything. The second day it might be 20%. The third day it might be 50%. But again, what you want to do, and Bill talked about it with the flea markets and the yard sales, is have business cards made up. And what I recommend is using a Google Voice phone number. So if you use the Google Voice phone number, those calls will be forwarded to your regular cell phone number. So that way people don't have your cell phone number per se, but they still can contact you. And again, obviously you guys can have, email addresses as well. I have one for my eBay store. I have one for my YouTube channel. I mean, for this particular channel, I have adamsexploits@gmail.com. For my store, I have a Gmail account. So you maybe want to start a separate account just up for your reselling, for your networking. So I have a separate account that you can track. Again, so that's with your estate sales. And then what you can do is on that last day, or even if you're there a couple of days prior, say, "Hey, Joe, I really like to make you an offer. Some neat stuff here. If for whatever reason, if you decide that you want to, sell a lot of stuff up at the end, or the people are interested in just getting rid of as much as they can, I'll come in. I'll make you an offer on what I can purchase, and then we'll go from there. And all I can do is, it can work out for you. All I can do, if you don't ask, you don't know." Okay, so you are the next several categories.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about cleaning out companies. So I'll do that one first. Talking about the clean out companies. Again, I was at this Williams Grove flea market. There's like over 750 vendors there. And it's one day, and people come in Saturday afternoon, and they let you set up and everything. But
did I lose you?
Oh, are we back? Yeah,
I think we're back. You're freezing a
so
little bit.
usually I get there around 5:30 in the morning. Yeah. So usually I get there around 5:30 in the morning. I'm usually set up by 6:30, and there are some vendors out there that they know what they want. They're looking at your car before you even unload it. But the point, it's true.
It's like the early birds at the yard sales. I mean, they say no early birds before 8 o'clock. You pull up at 7:30. There's already people trying to go through the stuff.
Well, the 2 iron pots, I sold them by 7 o'clock. I had like a dozen people look at them, and by 7 o'clock, I sold them for like $85, I think. So
okay,
within the hour. So, but anyway, I had a few minutes. So about 6 spots down from me, I walked down, and there was two younger guys in their late 20s, early 30s, and they had stuff out for like pennies on the dollar. So I go around looking for sneakers and everything, and I actually got them a sewing machine for $10. And by the end of the day, I flipped it for 40, right there at the flea market.
Right then and there. Okay, cool.
Right then and there, yeah. But they don't want to take the time, like you were saying. they don't want to deal with this stuff. They just want to move it out. They just want to get rid of it. So I talked to the guys, and they do house clean outs, and they have garages full of stuff that they said that we can just come in and do what we want with. I'm still waiting for the phone call, but it'll come, And then 2 weeks earlier, or 2 weeks ago, I should say, I was talking to a gentleman that was selling stuff, and he knows his buddy's a real estate seller in Harrisburg area.
Okay.
And he has so many houses that are up for sale, unfortunately, because of what's going on. Loved ones are being lost, and the families don't have the time to go through it.
Right.
So he's paying people to clean out the houses and take what they want with it. So that's another phone call that I got out. Telling you guys, these right here, they can do you wonders.
Vistaprint.com. I know some people don't like Vistaprint. I love Vistaprint.
You get 500.
I love Vistaprint.
$10 will get you 500. And I'm telling you what, this card, you might not get the phone call a week or two, but 6 months down the road, you might. There was my first weekend, Dave and I were out there, getting with the communication and talking to these people. They were resellers, and they had tractor trailers full of clothing, and I guess they had lived on a farm or something. And I gave them my card. I'm still waiting to hear from them, but networking. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So networking is the way to do. The other thing is, if you guys know any contractors that flip homes, a lot of times they buy these houses that were help me out here. I just lost my train of thought.
Like foreclosures?
Thank you. Yes, foreclosures, and they just leave all their stuff in the house.
Yeah, they leave all their stuff in the house, yeah.
Yep. And then
they want it out of there. They're either going to throw it in a dumpster, or they're not going to take the time to donate it.
Give them your card. They call you up and they say, "Hey, Bill." Yep. They call you up and say, "Hey, Bill, you know what? I just bought this house. I want to flip it in 30 days. It's got all this stuff in it. Can you come over and take it? You take what you want, and the rest I'm going to just throw in the trash." It's all free inventory, guys. It's dollars. Dave and I don't call them a death pile. We call them
cash pile.
Our money, our future money investments.
Okay, you call it future. That's a tongue twister, Bill.
It is, but we don't like to use the word death pile. So future money income, that's what we call them.
Right. One thing I wanted to bring up, and I didn't want to interrupt Bill. Always make sure you exchange business cards too, guys. You don't want to just give your business card to the person. You really want to try to get the other person's business card as well, because that way you can follow up. Like Bill has talked about some of these people that said, "Oh yeah, we'll call you. Well, put it on your calendar, put it in your Google or your Apple calendar or whatever, and then put a note, call so and so on such and such a date, concerning, and that way you have a reminder to call these people and follow up if they don't follow up with you. I mean, it's often overlooked, these type of things. But again, I told you guys I was in sales. I did a lot of networking, so these little things sometimes make a big difference.
Yeah, because a lot of these buyout companies, you're paying them to haul it away.
Exactly.
So they're only going to trash it anyway. So why not give them your business card and say, "Hey, look, Friday I'm going to clean the house out. If you want to come over Thursday and take what you want, it's yours. Take it."
Right.
It again, it's free inventory.
Like what you
just need to get yourself.
Go ahead.
No,
I was saying, you just said before, you can maybe sell that online, or you can sell it at flea markets, or if it gets to the point, some of the stuff you might want to just donate, and some of the stuff you may have to throw it out. I mean, that might not be saleable, but again, you have your online opportunities, you have your flea market opportunities. If you so see fit, you can run your own garage sale or yard sale, or you can donate it, or you can, if it's not saleable at all, and it's damaged, you can just throw it out, because that's what the other company's going to do.
And a lot of times, and I was talking to a lady where I go to Roots, which is out here in Manheim, Pennsylvania. She networked with one of the local bars or whatever. I like a mom and pop restaurant, and she had room in her. I guess she knew the person, and she asked if she could set up her yard sale stuff in the parking lot. And obviously, you have issues that they have to worry about liability and all. But if the person allows you to, that table's free. So you're 100% profit, unless you want to throw some
But you
money
set
their
up
way.
right in the
She
restaurant
goes
parking
to
lot. Okay.
She sets up right in the restaurant parking lot, and it's 100% profit all day long. And she's bringing business into the establishment.
Right. So it's kind of a win-win situation. Right.
Absolutely. And again, there's liability, so it doesn't work for everyone. But
True.
most of your yard sale. I'm sorry, I'm getting it too mixed up. Most of your flea markets in your area, tables run you anywhere between $10 and $25, depending on where you go. Obviously, if you go to a Christmas bazaar or something, they're a little bit higher.
Right.
But I pay $20 at one and $15 at the other, and I'm usually making my money within the hour. My table money.
Like you said, you probably made your money before you even set up, because like you said, all these early birds are all trying to hawk you as soon as you're pulling stuff out of your truck or your car.
I went to a flea market over here in Roots, and I had some postcards that I laid out on the table as I was setting up, and the guy came by. I had a bag, $25 on it, had no questions asked, handed me $25. I handed him the bag, and I was $5 profit within 10 minutes of being there.
Yeah,
and it's not going to work every time, but again, your overhead is low. That's what's nice about it. So,
right.
And you're talking to, last week, I met a guy that was from Vermont, and he came down to visit his son, and he set up. He got there 5 o'clock. He set up 2 spots, and he went to auctions for 2 days, and he was doing flea markets for 2 days. He was going to Jersey the next day. I forget where he was going. Okay. But again, he came down this way knowing he was going to see family. He set himself up. He got to network with other vendors that are outside of his area. And now I made a connection with somebody from Vermont. So you got to talk to these people. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. So anyway, you're next.
Okay. All right. So guys, I have a couple things that are kind of the same and different. In relationship to what Bill was talking about, some local services that, people, again, don't be afraid to talk to people. House cleaning services, lawn services, pet walkers or pet sitters. Again, they have relationships with these people, and maybe they'll say, "Oh, Adam, by the way, I don't know if you know, Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith is one of my clients, and he passed away, and his wife has a house full of things, and she doesn't what to do. She's going to downsize, or maybe Mrs. Jones is going into assisted living facility, and the family wants to get rid of everything in the house. Talk to the house cleaning services, talk to the lawn service people, talk to the pet walkers and pet sitters. I mean, just the run-of-the-mill people that have relationships with the various homeowners. And again, use the Google Voice number. They don't have to have your personal phone number. It's going to connect to your cell phone anyway. And just say, look, I'm a reseller. This is what I sell. If you ever have an opportunity, someone's looking to get rid of something, and you just be nice to the person. Maybe you can give them a $20 gift card to a local convenience store or Walmart or whatever, Starbucks if they drink Starbucks, whatever. You can just give them a little I call it tchotchke, little thank you gift. Another thing that works very well for a lot of resellers, which I have not made this connection yet, but a lot of resellers have, are storage auction buyers. We know some people that do storage auctions, and they purchase the stuff and they resell it through YouTube auctions, or they resell it online. Some of it online, some of it through YouTube auctions. But there's other, people that buy storage auction units, and they're only interested in certain things. Maybe they hate selling clothing, which a lot of resellers hate selling clothing. A lot of resellers love selling clothing. Maybe this particular, storage auction buyers, they hate sell clothing. So maybe they have clothing and say, "Hey, Bill, I got a bunch of clothing, some really neat stuff in here. Why don't you come over, make me an offer? You see, we'll make a deal. I'll sell you the clothing, and it'll be a win-win. I'll make money because I don't feel like listing it. You'll make money, from selling it from eBay or your wherever you want to sell, flea markets, whatever. You'll make money and I'll make money, so it's a win-win." Another thing that is extremely important, and I've always done this from day one when I got involved in reselling: be nice, make friends with your thrift store employees, owners, and managers. Get friendly with these people. A lot of resellers have benefited by getting first access to items, or being able to get like bundles, get discounts, because your relationship is built by networking. I'll give you a couple examples. If you saw Steve pick and roll on my show before, Steve was a super inspirational guy. He had nerve damage, and he's basically paralyzed on one side of his body, but he's a really go-getter. He uses a wheelchair to get around, motorized wheelchair, but he does reselling full time. So he makes relationships and makes friendships with the various employees. So he made relationships and friendships with one of the clerks at this, like the volunteer at one of his local thrift stores. I don't know if it was Goodwill, but whatever it was, but he was telling a story on my show. And this particular clerk, they were talking about selling books. So back in the day, he used to sell books on Amazon. So he told her like the various books that he likes to buy. Like he likes buying like self-help books, like, Alcoholics Anonymous, AA books, likes buying those. So this particular clerk actually found some books that he thought that he might be interested, and she hid them, like put them behind other books on the top shelf. So she stashed these things for Steve. It doesn't hurt to be nice to people, guys. Another example is Jamie, and a lot of you guys that follow Casey know Jamie Pace. Jamie Pace has relationships with a lot of these managers of these various Goodwills. They'll say, "Hey, Jamie, come in the back. Why don't you take a look at all my ties? Make me an offer." Mm-hmm. So he gets access to these really high-end ties before they even hit the floor.
And if I may add to that, about getting to let people know what you're doing and everything, Dave has a friend that lives in Hawaii and saw one of our posts about us being resellers and reached out to Dave through a private message, and his mom was getting rid of like a bunch of stuff, and they were only like 2 blocks away from us. We reached out to him, set up his stuff, and we wound up getting a trunk load of stuff out of her house for free. So, don't be afraid to post your stuff on Instagram and social media and everything, and let people know. Again, like Adam was saying, let people know. At first I was afraid and scared to tell people, but let people know what you're doing. You'll be surprised what you get out there. So
yeah, most people don't bite.
And
just be friendly.
Exactly.
If they're not interested, they're not interested.
You were talking about letting your local thrift stores know. There's a very close friend of ours that we know of. They know what she goes after at these thrift stores, and they wound up getting a tractor trail load of her particular product. And there was like 8 other resellers that were in the same cluster. And the manager called them first and said, "Hey, make me a deal before this hits the floor," like you were saying earlier. So they got it cheaper than what if it hit the floor.
Absolutely.
And all 9 of them walked away with an even amount instead of them fighting at the thrift store over it. They all came in, they congregated, they split it 9 ways, and everybody walked away happy.
Yeah, another story that just came to my mind, and when I had Steve on, another story he told me about was he went into a local thrift store, was owned by this guy, and apparently, with everything that's going on, we're not going to mention the words, but his business really, really slowed down because he didn't have customers; they were closed for a while. So he has a big, huge storage unit. So Steven made friendships with this guy and talked to him. He says, "Look, I really like to do business with you. You're a local guy. You're a good guy, but I can't make money. Your prices are kind of high. I'm a reseller, and there's not really enough. The resellers like to call it meat on the bone. So if you're ever interested in, making a deal, you're selling jeans for like $8.99. If you're willing to sell them to me for $3.99 or $2.99, we'll make a deal." So apparently this guy, like I said, he has a lot of back stock. So I haven't spoken to Steve if he's actually was able to hook up with this guy. But apparently the guy says, "Yeah, we'll get together because I have a lot of back stock in my, my storage unit, and I'll make a deal." It's a win-win. This guy's getting rid of inventory that he may never sell. He's going to get a quick infusion of cash, which most retail stores need an infusion of cash, right? With everything that's going on, they need that infusion of cash.
Mm-hmm. So
absolutely. Again, it doesn't hurt to talk to people. It doesn't hurt to be nice guys. So
not at all. Absolutely.
Okay. And you are up, sir.
Did you want me to talk about this topic about the Facebook groups, or you want to continue?
You're the next 3: the grocery, the friends, and the networking.
The Facebook groups, guys. I've been putting a lot of local posts of stuff that can't be shipped into Facebook. as selling, but also getting back to the yard sales on Saturday and physically speaking to someone. If you can't get out that weekend, always reach out. They're always listed on either the treasure map or Facebook groups or stuff that there's flea markets in the area, and reach out to them again. Send them a message like 1 or 2 in the afternoon and say, "Hey, I see you had a flea market. Is it okay if I swing by and see what you got left over, and I'll make you an offer so you don't have to drag it to the thrift store or whatever." Go on Craigslist. Make yourself a nice little ad. We did this right before everything that went on 9 months ago, and we were getting messages all over the place. Just make a small ad. Say, "Hey, look, I'm a reseller. We get X, Y, and Z we're looking for. If you have this product, please reach out and contact us, and we'll set up an arrangement for something." We had a woman about 20 minutes from here. She rescues clothing. And we called her up, and she had bags and bags and bags of clothes. We wound up keeping about half of it, but still, that was inventory that we got for free because she didn't want any money for it. We gave her a donation to her local, whatever charity she wanted to donate to,
right?
Only because we wanted to. But get these ads out. You got the computer. Social media is a big, big thing nowadays. Put a little ad out. Just make sure you contact your local groups to see if they allow you to post it before you go ahead and post something like this. Because a lot of your groups have their administrators want to make sure you're doomed by their own laws. So, the free, I do it every morning. I get up, I punch in free on Facebook Marketplace. I punch in free. People are putting stuff out all the time. It might not be what you want, but hey, one day you hit it big, and it's something you're looking for. Furniture, small furniture, if you can handle it, is a nice thing. People are always giving it away. You can always turn around and flip it back on Facebook, especially like the small stuff. There's an auction that I went to around here, and the guy would buy stuff, and he would snap a few pictures of it, post it on Facebook, and he was telling me that half the stuff he bought was being picked up at the auction house before he even left the auction. And he would be there. Of course, he was there all day because furniture always goes last. But he was using social media to sell his product while he was still at the auction buying. So, inventory for boxes. If you guys need boxes and the bubble wrap and all that kind of stuff, talk to your local grocery stores, your Office Depots, that kind of stuff. I worked in a grocery store. We used to have guys come in. They'd say, "Hey, look, I'm coming in." They come up. Well, I worked both shifts. So, like around 9, 10 o'clock at night, they come in and ask if you have empty boxes. And we'd say no. But if you come in at like 6 in the morning, the night crew will have things left over. You can get egg boxes, juice boxes, the heavy duty laundry boxes. I mean, it's all free stuff. Talk
Like
to your local.
banana boxes are great to store.
Banana boxes are great. There's a guy that you brought that up. The flea market that I go to, this guy has a truck load of nothing but banana boxes, and all
great to store things in.
He sets everything on the ground. You can buy the whole box for $5, or everything in the box is $1 a piece. And banana boxes are a great way. It's
and they're free.
And your local post office, you can always order through the post office. We just had, finally they came, 1, 2, 3, 4 bundles of 40, I think, of our shoe boxes finally came today. But obviously with the fourth quarter, it might be a little too late with it. But don't be afraid. It's a big thing. And I was afraid at first, and now I'm on social media all the time posting things. Another thing somebody told me about, it just popped in my mind. I'm getting a little off topic here, but the social media side of this. If you're doing a flea market, every morning I get on and I show the people my table, and somebody reached out to me and said, "Hey, why don't you go a little slower and tell people what's on your table?" So the first time I did, I said, "Hey guys, I'm here at blah, blah, blah. Here's table 1, then number 2, number 3, number 4. The next day, somebody reached out to me, and I sold $75 of my stuff that I still had that he wanted from doing the video.
You did this on Instagram Live, or you did this on Facebook?
I posted it on Facebook and Instagram, but somebody reached out to me on Facebook.
Okay.
And luckily, one of our friends was going towards his area, and I sold $75 worth of stuff the next day. So it works. I was shocked, but it worked. The ads work too. And when you're ready to take it down, I mean, now they have this new app, Neighborhood. I don't know. You can download it. Next Door. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Next Door I've had for a long time.
Yeah, you can put an ad on there.
Yep.
You know, and you're in your local area, so you don't have to go far. So
Stephanie has a question. She wants to know if you advertise more on Facebook or Instagram.
More Instagram, but I guess I'm pretty much even when I do my little videos. I'll post it because when I post on Instagram, it carries it over to my Gnome and the Frog business page.
Okay.
And then I'll post it on my personal Facebook, but I try not to post too much on Facebook because I don't want to bombard my friends and then that kind of thing. So
you have to post to your business page. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, Instagram will post to my business page. I have it linked that way. So every post that goes on Instagram automatically goes to my business page.
Okay.
And then anything like tonight's show, I put it in the personal, so everybody, all my friends and everything can see it. And then Instagram is where I do most of my posting now. And I just started doing TikTok. I just made.
Yeah, you said you're doing TikTok.
actually, and I don't want to get off topic, but actually, there's a TikTok where we bought 145 scrubs, and it was just a clip of the video that I put together. And it's only like 35 seconds long.
Right.
But I did this clip where we bought all like 145 scrubs for like $100. Right. I posted on TikTok. Believe it or not, it almost has. I was shocked. 1,500 views.
1,500 views on TikTok for 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Video. Wow.
Yeah, I was pretty taken back by it. I mean, I was surprised how this stuff works. Actually, it's right. It has 1,200. There's 1,264 views, and it's only. It doesn't say the time here, but anyway, it's like 30 seconds long.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been putting little clips like with us going out yard selling and stuff. Social media is where it's free advertising. Absolutely free advertising.
Different locations. I mean, there's people on Twitter. There's people on Instagram. There's people on Facebook. There's people on TikTok. In my opinion, a lot of older people are on Facebook. I mean, that's just my impression. And then
you're right.
People are on, or I would say the younger people are on TikTok, and it seems like anywhere from mid-age to younger people are on Instagram. So Instagram seems like to be like the beast. Seems to be like where you want to be.
Well, social media again is another form of a networking. That's when you called me earlier today. That's what it was I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
I don't know who anybody follows out there, but we just started to follow him. If anybody's familiar with Gary V, he's a social network. He does like motivation speeches, but it's all about social media and where it's going and how you to get your business out there. So if you guys YouTube, it's all free. Gary V. I'm plugging somebody.
Just a quick side note: it's not suitable for work. Gary V has a very peppery tongue. So if that type of language offends you, you don't want to follow. Great knowledge, great information, but he has a peppery tongue.
He likes to be loose with the words.
Yes, he does. Okay, I guess I'll cover the last couple things. Kind of skipped over a few things.
Yep, okay. You're going to close things out.
Okay. We had talked, and again, I think it was Stephanie that said in the chat, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, if you work a full-time or part-time job, tell your coworkers, tell your relatives that you're a reseller. Ask for free goods. People were doing spring cleaning or they're decluttering. see what you can sell, and then what's left out, you can either donate or throw it out. I mean, 9 times out of 10, people are either going to donate that or they're going to throw it out. So go in there. Maybe you'll find a few gems. Like I said, worst comes to worst, you donate some of it, and you can throw out some of it. But again, tell people what you do. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your coworkers, tell your relatives. I mentioned Donatella Bottolini sometimes on my show. She tells she is in a kind of exclusive area, and she has some friends that live in that area that are very well off, and they buy all high. I mean, I don't like selling children clothing. I think it's difficult to sell, but she gets a lot of it gets plushes. I mean, some of you know how well, and Beth obviously knows how well plush sell, but she gets a lot of plushes through her friends. I mean, they say, Donatella, I was just going to donate it to the thrift store. Why don't you come and you get it for free?
Mm-hmm.
If she can sell it, online, she'll list it on eBay. If she can't sell it on eBay, maybe she sells it on her YouTube auction, or maybe she just donates it. But again, tell people what you do.
I don't. What you're saying, real quick. I was just going to say, that popped in my head when you saying that is that I had a friend of mine just reach out to me Friday. They were getting rid of their kids' plush, a whole big green trash bag of it.
Right.
And I said, I'll be on Saturday. He gave it to me for nothing. I offered him money. He said, I don't want anything. I'll take it to the flea market tomorrow and I'll sell it for $1 a piece.
Right.
So go ahead.
Okay. And the last thing I just want to mention, again, this is kind of conditional on what's going on in the world. I talked, and again, this is networking. You can attend networking events. Virtual networking is one thing. In-person networking is quite a different story. Back in the day, when I was actually looking for a job, I would go to these various networking events. They'd put out some little, happy hours. I would just go and have a soda or something, and or if you drink soda, whatever, have something to drink, and then eat a little bit of the snacks, and then again have your business cards, pass it out, tell people what you're doing. Typically, it might be $10, $15, $20, whatever it is. But if you get 2 or 3 people, connection with 2 or 3 people, it's well worth your time and your money. So again, I just want to bring it all together. When these times are better and it's safer, you can attend networking events.
Well, that's how we met.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, Well, the thing with eBay Open was that I was there basically. I mean, I knew 90% of what eBay was presenting, but I did want to go for the networking. So, I mean, I did learn some things at eBay Open, but the vast majority of the reason I was there was to network.
Especially when you go to those events, make sure we had definitely, Dave and I made T-shirts up only because we knew we were going to that event, and bring plenty of business cards. After that, the afternoon that we met you, there was they had one of the eBay events, and coming back, we got talking to somebody walking down the hallway, and next thing you know, he's like, "Do you mind if we join you for dinner?" And I'm like, "No problem at all." 2.5 years later, we've made 2 public appearances where we met up with each other, and now we personally are networking each other once a month. We call and just shoot the crap, and that was all because of that. Yes, you can join us for dinner type of thing. So, it was hard for Dave more than it was me to get that shyness.
Right.
Oh, but yeah, once you can get over that shyness, it's amazing what you can do with this business. Absolutely amazing. Mm-hmm. And then you find out what other people are selling and get their. There's been a couple people in the chat that have talked about what they do, and I've tried it and it worked, and so. And as you know, there's plenty to go around in this business, and not worry about telling somebody what you're. Obviously, you don't want to give everything away.
No, you don't. You don't want to give away your secret sauce. Like I tell people, don't give away your honey holes. Your thrifting places, don't give away your honey holes. If you found a retail arbitrage something, or you found some, some consumable goods, something that you can sell. You don't want to tell everybody your secrets, but you can tell them the basic information.
Right. You can give them a slice of that pie. You can feed them a slice of pie, but don't give them the whole pie. So.
Well, what's the saying? If you give somebody a fish, they eat for the day. If you teach them how to fish, they eat for life.
Okay. There you go.
You know that one.
30. Yeah,
That's a really old one. That goes from the Bible.
Maybe I'll put it up with all my sayings in the back here.
There you go. Teach me how to fish, Bill.
So, is there any questions that anybody has?
I was going to say, are there any other networking suggestions in the chat or any questions you may have? Yeah, Valerie. I would like to go back to eBay as well. Hey, Anna.
Oh, I can't wait to go back. I did notice one that we didn't touch on, and I'm not a big fan of it. Maybe that's why I skipped over. But dumpster diving. So,
right, there's one we're going to talk about just for supplies and. But be careful, guys.
Right, for supplies, yeah, I care not to do it, but if you care to do it, dumpster diving. Now, what we will do is, believe it or not, we'll walk around the neighborhood on trash day, and everybody's putting any boxes. We'll take that from them, but I won't go into a dumpster. It's just not my thing.
Well, several things with dumpster diving. Be very careful. I know of people that have gone into dumpsters, like literally going into dumpsters. And especially if you're going by yourself, if you end up getting hurt and you got no one else with you, I mean, who's going to help you? The other things, if you're going in the evening, be very careful. You got to know your surroundings. Sometimes there's people that, are not well off for whatever reason. They have issues. It could be mental health issues, whatever. And they might be hanging around these parking lots. So just be very, very careful. And the other thing is it's illegal to dumpster dive in certain communities. So make sure you're dumpster diving. The regulations. Certain communities around me, you're not allowed to dumpster dive. And technically, if something is gated, you're not allowed to go into that gated area into the dumpster. People do it, but it doesn't mean that it's right.
Just tell Maggie to put on springy shoes so she can bounce out of the dumpster. Did you read her quote?
No, what did she say?
I can see me trying to get out of a dumpster.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Tell her to put on one of those springy shoes where you can bounce out of.
Shoes, you just.
Yes, yeah. True. Does anybody have any questions? Any last minute comments? Any suggestions of what you guys want to see in 2 weeks?
You guys really be on Bill's channel in 2 weeks. Like I said, we're doing this every other week, and it's just twice a month. So it'll be on Bill's channel in 2 weeks. Hey
guys, don't forget to hit the like button too. It really helps us out.
I appreciate that. Hit the like button, hit the thumbs up. Just a reminder, I am having my Reselling Rhythm show on Wednesday, and Valerie Hickory Springs, who was in the chat, is going to be my guest. Topics still to be determined, but I did get the show scheduled. So again, that is on Wednesday evening, my Reselling Rhythm show, and that's at 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday evening. So I'm having Valerie Hickory Springs on.
And if I can get this out,
that's a reminder too. Beth is going live in about 10 minutes on the Reseller Robo channel.
Yep, on her channel. And if I can get this out, I have a small group. As I was talking earlier, Noman the Frog on Facebook. It's a little page. If you guys want to head on over there, and I post a inspirational saying every day, and we post our sales, whether there's 0 or 20. I put it up every day. Come in, make friends. I'm trying to get it off the ground. We'll see what happens. I am on Instagram at gnome_frog and also TikTok at the same. Tried my hand at Twitter, didn't work so well. But they're the 2 main platforms I'm on. Obviously, my YouTube channel, Gnome the Frog. Haven't put any content out in a while, so forgive me for that. But that's about all I have to say.
Well, I have all your thing. I don't have your TikTok information, but I have everything else is listed in the description below. Okay. So again, guys, if you're watching the replay, leave it in the comments. Do you have any ways that you guys network that maybe we didn't mention? So if you want to share with the other resellers that watch my show, I'd appreciate if you put in the comments things that you do to network that maybe we have missed, and share with the other resellers in the community. I would really appreciate it. So I hope to see most of you again this Wednesday evening when I have Valerie Hickory Springs on. In the meantime, guys, make that money and please be safe. We shall see you next time.
Good night, everybody. Bye.